there was an Aston Martin that's coming up in one of the episodes with this new series, and that was probably one of the most interesting ones. I didn't get involved from the very beginning, but I knew the car was there because I'd gone to the particular storage building a year or two earlier, and I saw it there, and when it came up on the radar I knew exactly where it was. But then I did get involved with taking it down to the Aston workshops to get the car restored, which was good. I had half a day down there. They were showing me all around. It was really interesting. That was good. Yes and no. Yeah, I was surprised. I was more surprised at where it was in the queue at Aston. It was something like number 15 in the queue, waiting to be restored. Each restoration costs a minimum of 350,000. Most restorations go up to more like 550 by the time the clients add different extras. And it was amazing to see that was number 15 waiting to go in, you know, for a £500,000 restoration, you know. So. All sorts, mainly a lot of Fords actually, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of Fords and performance cars, rally cars, that type of stuff.
A beast from the 80s is set to cause a stir in the showroom.
It was bought by Jack the Lad. It was bought by lads who wanted a bit of flash. You could have Porsche performance at half the cost.
But I appreciate anything, I'm not bothered. That Aston's mine, but then my father's got a few Astons as well. Yeah, anything really. As a family, we'll have probably 100 cars and 60 bikes and a load of lorries. So there's a bit of all sorts really, and it can be anything from, it doesn't matter about value, it's irrelevant. It can be anything from, you know, from a 500 quid something or other, you know, to 250,000 something. It don't matter really. You get just as much fun. You get just as much fun out of that, don't you? You know, at 5,000 as you would that at 255,000. You know, so it don't matter really. A little bit weird, yeah. It's a little bit weird. We've done a fair bit of TV stuff over the years, but mainly supplying stuff, you know, supplying props, supplying cars, so that side of the camera. But yeah, we really quickly got used to the crews being around, and they all very quickly became a part of the team. They're a good bunch of guys. So yeah, within no time. In fact, it was more strange them not being around during lockdown and all the rest of it. That was strange, not having the guys around with the camera. That took, in a weird way, it took more getting used to than it did actually them coming on board in the first place. But it is weird. Yeah, it's just like watching a home video. When you're at home and you see something pop up on the screen, yeah, it's just weird feeling really. Yeah, you just think, yeah, it just feels like a home video. It's not until you're out and about somewhere when someone comes up to you in like McDonald's and says, like the show, and you're like, oh, thanks ever so much, yeah. And I was out yesterday and I was loading the lorry and a cyclist went by, and he said, you're on tonight, lad, aren't you? I says, I am, I think, yeah, well, and just weird stuff like that. And you're in traffic, your park's on the M1 in traffic, and you know, a car will come alongside and the window will go down, you know, and they start yabbing on, and that's a little bit surreal, yeah.